What I'm about to show you in this movie always takes place before the all-time highs of any stock, not just XRP, Bitcoin, or Ethereum. The numbers and statistics don't lie when you really look at them. It's also a lot easier than everyone thinks. If you let me show you, you'll see the tools that the world's best managers are using right now, so that they can make crazy amounts of money while most of you watching this video are trying to make ends meet. If you let it, what I'm about to say will change your life. So many things about my life have changed a lot because of it, so please pay close attention to today's video. I'm going to go into great detail about things that will definitely help you, coming up very soon since it's happening now. The August PPI inflation number came in and it was 2.6%, which was less than the 3.3% that was expected. Core PPI inflation fell to 2.8%, which was less than the 3.5% that was expected. The PPI was negative from one month to the next for only the second time since March 2024. Rates will be lowered soon. The rate of unemployment is getting close to its highest level since the pandemic. The numbers for inflation are lower than expected. Rates are going to go down soon. Rate cuts are coming, which will have a huge effect on the market. Rate cuts haven't happened in a very long time. In the stock market and cryptocurrency markets, the last time rates were lowered, prices were at all-time highs. Right now, prices are about to go up again. That's why you should pay attention. This is the reason why this moment I'm sharing with you is so incredibly important. You should remember today as well as November, because today is the day that everything changes for you. If you missed the crypto market gains in November, December, and January, the SP 500 has now extended the rally to a record high of 65.50, which is over 35% higher than the low point in April 2025. This is because markets are starting to price in rate cuts. To tell you, this is just the markets beginning to price in the rate cuts. This is not the markets truly getting the cash that the rate cuts will make available. This is the amount of cash that is currently available. As you can see, the odds of a 50 basis point rate cut have risen to 19% after PPI inflation suddenly falls. I'll explain what I mean in a minute. Most people believe that a 25 basis point cut is very possible. Some people are starting to say that things above that are possible. Big changes will happen all over the market if that does happen. For me to understand why this effect takes place the way it does, you need to know about the relationship between M2 money supply and market highs. I'll give you examples from the last 20 years that happen in real life. Many times about how this connection has worked out. It's clear from the past examples, the facts, and what we're seeing here today that everything fits together. The most basic reason is that more money in circulation leads to spending. It makes a lot of sense when you think about it. In a world market with more money moving around, there is more money to invest. In case you didn't know, the Federal Reserve usually buys treasury bonds when they lower interest rates. This gives the business cash. That is, when M2 is high, people, companies, and institutions have more cash on hand or funds that are easy to get to. When investors have extra cash, they often put it into stocks and cryptocurrencies in search of better returns than what they can get from low-yield savings or bonds. Prices for assets can reach all-time highs because of this rise in demand. This has happened a lot of times before. This has happened a lot of times, not just once or twice in history. We can also see that when monetary policy is loosened, investors are much more willing to take risks. This is mostly because banks start giving lower interest rates, which lets investors take out loans with higher risks and higher rewards, like those in real estate or in OT. Her businesses, which of course lets them aggressively grow their business and make more money, which again makes the markets more flexible. So why do markets reach all-time highs? Well, the low interest rates and large amounts of cash on hand encourage speculation. There's also market mood, and it all adds up. You can also see that there are crypto-specific factors. Because they're seen as high-risk, high-reward investments, cryptocurrencies often go up when rates are low. During times of high liquidity, blockchain innovations or market hype can also make price changes bigger. In other words, I want to give some cases of this happening because none of this really means anything unless we can show it. Now, QE1, which ran from November 2008 to March 2010, is a big example that a lot of you will probably know. If you remember back to November 2008, the Federal Reserve started QE, or quantitative easing. To keep the economy stable, they bought $1.25 trillion in mortgage-backed securities, $200 billion in agency debt, and $300 billion in government securities. The SP 500 hit a low point in March, around 676 points, and then started a big rise. In April 2010, the SP 500 hit a high point of 1217 rise. That is completely crazy, with prices almost doubling from their low point. After rates were lowered, QE helped a huge amount of cash flood into the markets. This led to more borrowing and investment, which drove up the prices of stocks. All of the stocks are in this. Of course, Bitcoin wasn't really being traded yet, but if we look at 2020 and 2021, we can see that crypto does follow the same trend. You can see the SP 500 hit its lowest point on March 23rd, 2020 at 223.37. This was during the pandemic crash that was caused by QA and fiscal stimulus. Then it went up very quickly, and by August 2020, it had reached a new all-time high of about 33.80. That's crazy. The measure kept going up for 5 months after QA started, reaching a high point of about 48.18 in January 2022, not long after the Fed announced it would be ending QE. 2021, so a lot of money was made. The markets went up like they've never gone up before because they did so much stimulation. All of that is being done by treasuries. As you can see, the market hit a new high point. You can see that the amount of empty money rose by 40% from 15.5 trillion in February to 21.8 trillion by December 2021. Of course, the markets also went up by the same amount. It makes sense. When you put the pieces together, it all starts to make sense. There is no doubt about the link. All of these things, M2, QE, the prices of stocks and digital assets, are very closely linked to each other. In fact, there's a 95% match. That really is a strange thing for all of us here today. So we can tell that we're going to print money again by looking at what's going on in these markets. Buy treasuries and start printing money again. For the most part, those high points happen 3 to 5 months after QE starts. It looks like the move is pretty clear and ow. At the moment, one XRP coin is worth about $3. It will soon be able to find some good chances to enter this market. You guys are lucky if you can pick up my Crusader signal. Those posts will be sent to you as soon as they happen. Guys, if you really want to make the most of this bull run, you need to know when to enter and leave the market at the best times. Take a look at the Crusader sound. The link is going to be below, and you can use it the same way I have. Don't say goodbye until you sell. If you buy, and then sell, you'll always find the bottom and sell near the top. And when XRP is moving sideways with only small moves up and down, you could be making 60% every 2 weeks. When you put these 3 buys together with this sell, the most recent trade that was just finished, you would have been 60% up with just 10x leverage and about 30% up with about 5x leverage. It is crazy to think that you could do this for about a week to a week and a half. Also, this is just one of many back tests of the approach over the last year. In fact, I'll be sending you a video soon that shows the PL over the last year. You guys will be shocked at how useful this tool really is, and this is how I'm riding this bull run. I really hope that you all will use it too. The link to the indicator is below the prices. These are the best prices or the best ways to make this much money. Maybe this costs less than that if you only go out to dinner once a month, and it will make you money instead of just throwing it away into the abyss, never to be seen again. I'm really happy about this. If you liked it, please hit the like button and subscribe. Please click on the link below to sign up for the Crusader signals today. Don't miss out on this bull run, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, peace out,